SG.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions. ENCA are the ANC NEC members who called for the president to step down. There was nobody who called for the president to step down. At the NEC. What the president was addressing is some of the rumors that have been peddled in the public domain, which I addressed at this platform last week. And I've said that those rumors come from you in the media, because some of us in the ANC go to you and tell you that at the General Council, the president will be removed, and then we'll have a new president in the country. And then I explained to you, and I used Nepula ya Ramza, quote unquote, myself. Now, the point I was explaining was that these rumors get to be peddled at random and so on, and they do have their owners in our cycles, and they find expression through the media. The media then becomes the mouthpiece of these people who are hard at work, that this General Council must become something else. It must not become a General Council that is going to ensure that we mop up, look at ourselves, and then come out with necessary vigor and commitment and determination to get the ANC back in terms of majority numbers in the governance of this country. So what the president was saying and related to was the fact that he's not deterred by that. In fact, if there were people who were interested in that, they are wasting time, because if he was to go, he will go anytime. But he will not go because he was elected by members of the ANC, not by rumor mongers. And that's what is important, and by those who are peddling negativity to undermine the cohesion of the African National Congress. So he was addressing that particular point. So your rumor mill has told you that president is ready to go. There's nowhere where the president is going. The president is doing very well. He's leading a collective of which that collective will account to the General Council, and the General Council will deliberate on issues that are before it from the collective. So the president stepping down, that never arose. Nobody talked about such a thing in the NEC, other than rumor mongers, which I did explain that there are people who've got such intentions and trying to get it going in our structures. And thus far, that has failed. And it will fail. I can tell you, as the Secretary General of the ANC, we are focused on the task of rebuilding the organization. And that task falls on all of us as a collective, and at the same time to all our branches and structures. We have engaged almost weekly with structures on preparations for this General Council. And the major issues that are arising for the General Council are matters of strategy and tactics. How do we as an ANC overcome this thing of coalitions through consolidating our majority? There's a strategic question. And others have thrown in the notion of counter-revolution in the debate So what is counter-revolution and how we understand it is going to be debated in the General Council. In our document, we are going to deal with the question of the state of the NDR, National Democratic Revolution, the balance of forces. All of us in the General Council, we're going to discuss that. And we're discussing that now in the branches as well as the regions. Provinces consolidating their perspective towards the National General Council. And in that regard, when we place our report, midterm report, to the General Council, it will not become a report without weaknesses, including weaknesses of leadership. That is what the General Council is entrusted to do. But this one of replacing leadership, it's not on the agenda. And I did explain to you that if members of the ANC want to replace this leadership, they are constitutionally empowered by the ANC constitution. You need to raise 2/3 of the structures of the organization to raise that particular motion. There's never a reason. It is not there. It is tendencies in the organization that want to digress the entire party to focus on chasing ghosts. Ghosts like Ramaphosa stepping down. And that is a ghost. Ramaphosa step down is a ghost. Doesn't exist. Yes, it's a ghost that is there, pursued by others. And they believe in their figmentation of their imagination that such a thing will arise. Because they don't want this Ramaphosa because they were defeated in conferences of the ANC, successive. Ramaphosa is an asset to the African National Congress. And it's not apportioning that to leadership role to him per se, but the leadership role that he has played under difficult circumstances, economic challenges and all of that is commendable. And of course, there will be others who will say, no, we don't agree. We are a big organization. You must have skin and shock absorbers that the ANC has had over the years to overcome such. When leadership is criticized, it's not the problem. That you could have done better there, you could do better here. It is called refreshing the mandate. And that's what we're going to be doing at the General Council. So shock absorbers means that have the courage of your convictions to raise your issues politically in the party and the organization. But tendencies, rumor mongering, that is negative. We know about it in certain quarters. And the people who are for these ideas are not many, they are few. And that is it, and so on. So in the National Executive Committee, there was no such. I mean, I remember one time a member of the NEC, Andile Lungisa, said that the NEC must be disbanded. And it was only him who spoke about that matter in the NEC, and that Motlanthe and Mbeki must become interim leaders and so on. It was only him who raised that issue. But it became a big topic. So that tells us as the ANC that the salacious, desire by people to get ANC leadership disintegrating is bigger than we would have imagined. Even smaller things like that will find their way in the front pages as authentic. And now this president matter and what president is rumored to have said has found its way in the front pages of the media and so on. But I can tell you right now that in the ANC, we are focused on rebuilding of structures and making it a point that we mold this party to become formidable and emerge stronger and stronger going forward. So there's no step down of Ramaphosa in the ANC. There's no step down. Will I say that there are no such people who are entertaining such things? They are. People, but they are not many. We know. And they are trying to influence the organization in that direction, and they've failed completely to do so. I can tell you that right now. And, but because you are media, you can continue to entertain them. And if they are brave enough, I will want them to show their face for calling for the president to step. Even if they come from the NEC, I will want to see them. Because in the collective we have never had anyone disowning leadership. We've got challenges, and we are overcoming these challenges every day as a collective going forward. So our movement is being consolidated, nourished every day to ensure that we respond to the challenges that face our country. Lifestyle audits have been done in government, not pronounced. And perhaps presidency in government will explain that point, but they've been done. Before I left government, I was subjected to a lifestyle audit as a minister, and many other ministers did. So the question is, when are the reports coming out? And how government is going to handle that. What we are saying as the ANC is that lifestyle audits must not only focus on people in the middle management and so on. It must happen across leadership in the executive, so that we're able to deal with the question of the lifestyle audits in government. We don't ask police officers, magistrates, and everybody to do lifestyle audits, and then on our part, we are not ready to do lifestyle audits. So we believe that the leadership of the country, the executive, must do lifestyle audits, the same as civil servants must be able to do that.